Good evening. Thank you so much for joining in. So tonight I am going to cover a video that a viewer had requested that I make. That is the abandoned vehicle process or tips on filing the abandoned vehicle process in Virginia. Okay. Before I get into that, I do want to share a brief disclaimer. If you bought a vehicle without a title, if you are expecting a quick process, maybe something happened to your title, so you're trying to go through the abandoned vehicle process. Do so at your own risk. Okay, filing the abandoned vehicle process for a title does not guarantee you a title. Okay, again, disclaimer, it does not guarantee you a title. Okay. With that being said, when you are trying to file the abandoned vehicle process in Virginia, there's a foundation point you need to keep in mind. Is the vehicle located on residential or commercial property? Okay. Who is the owner of the property? Okay. Residential, as an example, you own the property. Maybe you have a friend who is going out of town and is, asking you to keep their vehicle for X amount of time. Okay. The friend is unreachable or chooses not to reclaim the vehicle within the time they promised to remove it, so you can file for an abandoned vehicle process after 48 hours, okay, of that time that they agreed upon, okay? 48 hours is when you can start after the vehicle has been left on your property, okay? Let's talk about the commercial piece, okay? If you are the property manager or the owner of that commercial property, you can file for the abandoned vehicle process also after 48 hours that the vehicle has been left on the property. Okay, I'm going to park here a bit on the commercial property example. So I've had folks who have reached out to me throughout the years. Maybe they were an employee at the company, at the business, and there was an abandoned vehicle left and they had an interest. Okay, I would always ask, are you the owner? Are you the property manager of that property, of the business? Do you have rights to the property, to the vehicle, etc.? And if not, then I would advise them the property manager or the owner of that property would need to reach out to me. I've also had people who would, drive by and they had an interest in a vehicle that they thought was abandoned and they will reach out to me with that as well. Okay, so you cannot just try to file the abandoned vehicle process for a vehicle that is on a property that you don't own or you don't have rights to. There's a process that is involved. So if you're out there and you see a vehicle that appears to be abandoned, keep in mind, if you don't own that property or you're not the property manager, you do not have rights to start in the process for that vehicle. Okay. When it comes to the abandoned vehicle process in Virginia, one will have to keep in mind of the records out there. Is there any records? Is a Virginia record out there? If it's an out of state records, you will have to go through the filing and notification process with any owners, any lien holders that might be present as well. Okay. And during this process, the owner or owners on record, lien holders, they do have X amount of time per the DMV to come forward. Okay. And let me just share, when they come forward or if they come forward during this time frame, the owner or owners, lien holders, etc., they do not have to provide you with any type of compensation. Okay. They do not. The only thing the owner or the lien holders will need to do is provide you with their ID or proof that they are the owner and that they are the lien holder for the vehicle in question. No money is on the table. And let me stop here for a moment because I've had folks who have gotten mixed up when it comes to mechanic liens and abandoned vehicles in the process. Okay. When it comes to abandoned vehicle processing in Virginia, you are not uh, expected to receive compensation. You're not. Okay, so it's going to be a filing issue. Is it a mechanic storage lien matter? Is it an abandoned vehicle matter? If you are a tow company, a repair shop, a vehicle storage company, you can file what's called a mechanic storage lien or MSL process. In that type of situation, yes, you are guaranteed some sort of compensation depending on how long you've owned the vehicle, how long the vehicle has been on your property, and whether or not you reached out to the lien holder within a certain amount of time, etc. Okay, so I don't want you guys to get confused with the abandoned vehicle process versus the mechanic storage lien process. But back to the abandoned, no, you cannot expect any type of compensation. Okay, so again, it's a gamble. You're not expected to get that title. Okay, so just keep in mind. Okay, and you do have to release that vehicle within a certain amount of time if that vehicle owner come forth or the lien holder. You cannot keep it under any circumstance. If they comply, you got to release it. Okay, and if you do not, then all parties unfortunately will be going to the courthouse. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight with that. Moving forward with the abandoned vehicle process, be prepared to submit the necessary paperwork. Make sure you complete the necessary steps. As such, DMV will want to know this. If you skip any steps, if you are lost on any type of steps, time is still ticking away. And if you miss the deadlines in question, unfortunately, you will be required to start the process over again. So keep that in mind. Okay, keep that in mind. But I did just want to share these tidbits with you guys regarding the abandoned vehicle process. No, I did not go into a long, drawn out, outline of the process. I'm not doing that on this video, but I wanted to give you guys the basics to keep in mind when you are filing or thinking about filing this process. If you want to share your experience, feel free to drop me a line below or visit me at wisdomandauthority.com. Please click share and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope to hear from you soon.